Hey guys, this is Deanna.
Hey, I'm Brett. Welcome back to week 6 of Hard Lessons, Paranormal, and True Crime Podcast.
Yay!
So, Teach, how was your week?
It was okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
As always, you've got to be, as an educator, you got to be on your toes and very flexible and, yeah.
I hear you.
So, how was your week?
Outstanding. The world's greatest granddaughter was here visiting us.
Yeah, she was.
And her mom, but...
You know, gotta have priorities.
Exactly. Always good to see them when we get the opportunity.
Heck yeah.
So,
Other than that, week number 3 of no hot water yet. Getting to be a pain. On Tuesday, it'll be 4.
Tuesday it'll be 4. So, home warranties.
Yeah.
Gotta love them.
Yep. Makes you appreciate indoor plumbing and that we don't live in a country that doesn't have that.
You know, as I said that, I got to thinking, well, that seems pretty selfish and rude of me. I am thankful for everything that we have. I just wish they'd quit dragging their feet.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's typical.
Yes, ma'am.
But anyway, I mean, we still have water. It's just not hot.
It's just not hot.
So, we still are blessed.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Not absolutely. Absolutely.
You feeling all right?
I don't know. Words, man.
Words. The English language and pronunciations.
Who told us to have a podcast?
You did.
Shh.
You told us.
I did.
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
Ready to be scared?
Sure, if that's how it's gonna roll, but I doubt that I will be.
Yeah. I gotta say, before we do get started, first of all, in one of the ghosts that I'll be talking about today, there will be a trigger warning for suicide. So if that's too much of an issue for any of our listeners, then we totally understand, and our feelings are not hurt. If you have to skip past it, I will let you know. It'll be the last ghost that we talk about, and I will say, hey, we're coming up on the last ghost. So if you need to skip it, absolutely understand. Also, wanted to say that our buddy Dose, great human being, I have always had a fascination, even as a young child, with paranormal and ghost stories and movies and different things like that, but never really believed in it. Dose and I worked together for a company here in town, big machine shop, and my machine that I ran was at the very end of the shop, kind of by the tool room and where the inspection guy's workstation was. And that's what Dose was an inspector. And so in his station was at the very end also. So we were maybe, 30 feet apart, possibly maybe. And so one day I had to go to the tool room, which he was right next door to. And he was like, come here. So I walked over and was asking, hey, what's up, man? And he asked me, he said, you know that I am sensitive, right? At the time, I had no idea what he meant by it. And I was like, you're going to have to explain further. And he said, well, I can see ghosts. I can
see them.
Yeah. Clairvoyant is another term for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And he asked me if anybody in my family had lost a child, a female child, when they were about 9 years old, 8, 9 years old. And I said, no, I don't.
The child would have been.
No.
at that time.
When he first asked me, he said, "Did they lose one that was 8 years old?" And I said, "No, sir." And he said, "Well, what about Deanna's family?" And I said, "Well, if they did, it was before I was a member of Deanna's family, and she's never said anything to me about it. But I'll go text her." Okay. Now, knowing that she's a teacher, I didn't think I would get an answer for a while. But so I'll go there and text her, "Hey, crazy question. Anybody on your side of the family ask, Watson, come on, lose a child when she was about 8 or 9 years old?" And she said, "No, why?" So I explained to her. And then, and this is something that very few people know about, but so in a moment of openness, Deanna then asked me if it could be a child that was lost and would be about 8 or 9 years old now, lost before she was born.
A miscarriage.
It's totally spaced. Lost in a miscarriage, but now would be about 8 or 9 years old. And I hadn't thought about it in years, and so I was like, huh. So I walked back over to Dose to ask him, and before I can say a word, he said, "What about a miscarriage?" And big feller almost fell on the floor, passed out. I said, "Dude, that's what I came over to ask you about. Deanna had a miscarriage about 8 years ago." And he said, "Well, there's a couple of things I'm fuzzy about. There's something to do with Easter, because she's dressed up in this beautiful Easter dress, and she's holding this teddy bear that, and I don't remember the color or ribbon, maybe Deanna does, but
No.
she's holding this teddy bear that has this specific ribbon tied around its neck." So I go back over to my workstation and text Deanna, "So what about Easter and something about a teddy bear with a specific ribbon?" And Deanna immediately texted me back in all capital letters, "Y'all better not be playing a joke on me." I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she said, "Our baby would have been born end of March, 1st of April. So it would have been born around Easter. Mm-hmm. And one day coming home from work, I stopped and bought a teddy bear as a first little gift for our baby."
Yep.
I had no idea about the teddy bear. She had never showed it to me. I believe later that evening that when she bought the teddy bear is when she had the miscarriage. And so I went back over and told Dose, I was like, "Dude, I'm about to freak out right now." And he said, "Well, don't freak out, but your little girl is trying to get your attention." So.
I think he brought up a name.
He said there's something to do with spring in her name also. Or something like that. There was something. Anyway, my great-grandmother on my dad's side, great,
I think.
her name was Mahalia Ann. And we were both like, we knew this like right after we got married, or maybe even before we were married. I had never heard the name before, and Dad was telling us one night, we were over visiting, and we were like, man, if we ever have a little girl, that's what we're going to name her. So May, springtime.
We're going to call her May May.
Going to call her May May.
Dose picked on that one too.
He picked up on that also. So,
yeah.
So that's just our little story of experience with paranormal.
I don't know. Is that really paranormal? Is that considered paranormal?
Well, let me give you the definition to paranormal.
Okay.
All right. So according to dictionary.com, paranormal is defined as denoting events or phenomena such as telekinesis or clairvoyance that are beyond the scope of normal scientific understanding.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dose had no
seeing
idea.
something that wasn't there. I mean, wasn't born, but
Right. Dose had no idea that we had had a miscarriage. He didn't know anything about the teddy bear. I didn't know anything about the teddy bear. So how do you explain that?
very true. Very true.
So
Crazy. There you go. I was thinking of Twilight Zone. It didn't come out like the Twilight Zone. All right, class is in session.
all right. So before we get started with our paranormal story today, I've got to do the more you know.
Okay, awesome.
So, the voice of Mickey Mouse, the actor's name, Wayne.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about Steamboat Willie, or are you talking about the Mickey Mouse after that?
After that,
Okay, Mickey
Steamboat
Mouse.
Willie was Walt Disney.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either till I researched this. So
Okay, so
There's
after that.
after that,
Okay.
the voice actor, his name was Wayne Allwine, Allwine.
Okay.
He voiced Mickey Mouse for over 30 years.
What?
The voice actress for Minnie Mouse, her name was Russie Taylor.
Okay.
She voiced Minnie Mouse for over 23 years.
Nice.
And in real life, they were married until
cool.
until his passing in 2009.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. So that's today's little fun fact.
Awesome.
All right, paranormal.
Paranormal. Let me get my notepad.
Okay.
I'm prepared this time.
And we've had a lot of guesses as to what today is. And I've got to give a good shout out to my good friend Aliqua down there in Austin, because even though I said she wasn't right, she was right. I didn't want to give it away.
Oh.
We are doing the Driskill Hotel.
Driskill Hotel.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So it was built in 1886 by Jesse Driskill. He was born November 24th, 1824, and died May 3rd, 1890. So he died just 4 years after his hotel was built.
Okay, so he was born in... No, it was built in 1886?
It was built in 1886.
Okay, so he only got to see it for 4 years.
Right.
Oh my gosh, my brain said 1990, and I'm like, dude, that wasn't no 4 years old. And I teach math.
He was a cattle baron, is how he made his fortune.
Okay, first, I'm sorry, where is the Driskill Hotel located? Or am I jumping the gun again?
He was a cattle baron,
Sorry.
is how he made his fortune.
Okay.
One article that I read compared him to Tony Stark,
Oh.
except instead of selling weapons of mass destruction, he sold beef to the Confederate Army and to Texas Rangers.
Okay.
So kept them alive.
I don't know how comparing it to Tony Stark.
Well, blood money, basically. The Army got to go on and do what they did because they fed off his cattle, and he charged them an outrageous price. And
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I was not connecting the dots there.
I hear you.
It's pretty gray.
He moved from Missouri to Texas in 1885, so he started
Okay.
work on the Driskill pretty soon afterwards.
Yeah, about a year or a few months later.
Yes, ma'am. The land that the Driskill sits on,
Okay.
he bought for $7,500.
Okay. Who did he buy it from? Doesn't say.
And the cost of construction for the hotel was $400,000.
Whoa.
It featured 60 rooms, 12 of those being corner rooms with attached baths, an electric bell system, basically a phone system type deal, steam heating,
Ooh, this is a fancy.
gas lighting,
Fancy.
and a rotunda with a large domed skylight.
Ooh, I bet that was pretty back then.
I bet so. We drove past it a few years ago after our daughter and them moved down there, and we went to eat supper that one night at that barbecue place. Stubbs. I remember when she drove us by and said that's the famous haunted hotel?
Vaguely. It kind of sits in the middle of other, like,
yeah,
modern
right. It's
businesses.
right downtown Austin. It's not far from the Capitol.
I want to go stay there.
I do too, and we're going to get to something here in a minute on that.
Sweet.
When he opened, the average cost for a hotel room at night was 50 cents.
Holy cow.
However, if you wanted to stay at the Driskill, you paid $2.50 a night.
Is that just for a standard no bathroom attached room where you had to share a bathroom with everybody?
No, that's the one with it didn't say how much the room without a bath is. That's for the room with the bathroom in it. It's $2.50 a night. $2.50 a
yes.
night. Yes.
$2.50 a night.
President Lyndon Johnson and his wife Lady Bird had their first date at the bar at this hotel.
Shame on them for being at a bar.
I know. Scandalous.
Yep.
And he really liked it there, President Johnson did.
Cool.
He later used it as his campaign headquarters. And that is where he was when he found out he was won the Senate race. And that's where he held all his campaign fundraisers and stuff when he ran for a second term of president.
Whoa. Anyway, there's a conspiracy theory right there, but let's move on.
Yes, we're not talking conspiracy theories this week, Teach.
I know it.
In 1969, it was slated to be demolished. However, they worked hard and got it listed on the National Registry of Historic Places. The reference number for that on the Registry of Historic Places is 690000212. And then it reopened in 1972 after some remodeling and stuff.
Ooh, I wonder if it went like disrepair or something.
It may have, because like I said, Mr. Driskill passed away only 4 years after it opened. And I saw two different theories on this. So before he passed, he either had lost all of his family's fortune and had to sell the hotel, or, and this is the one that I'm leaning towards, he lost it in a poker game.
Oh.
Yeah. So it showed both.
Okay, so he bought the land, built the hotel, got stupid, lost the hotel.
Had to sell it to make money.
And yet...
Or that story's not true at all, and he just lost it.
But they kept naming it?
They kept the name,
Kept the name? Yeah. So, who did it belong to after that? Okay, I'm sorry.
So we're moving on to the ghosts.
Okay.
Texas State Capitol was still under construction, and so Senate held their sessions here at the Driskill, their Senate meetings and such.
Okay.
Texas State Senate.
Yes. So was this back in the late 1800s, 1900s? Okay, just making sure I'm on the same
yes, ma'am.
Timeline.
A senator, Temple Houston, youngest son of Sam Houston, gave his daughter a ball to occupy her time so she would quit interrupting them. Her name was Samantha Houston. Okay. As she was bouncing the ball, it rolled towards the staircase. She reached to get the ball, but tripped over the ball, fell down the staircase, and broke her neck and died.
No. How old was she?
4 or 5.
Oh, an itty baby.
Yeah. There is a 5th floor painting near where the young girl died now. It is called Love Letters because it depicts a young lady holding paper in one hand and flowers in the other. Guests and employees have spotted a young lady near this painting, and then she will just vanish in front of their eyes.
Is it a painting of her?
No.
No?
It's just a painting of a little girl.
Oh.
Or I didn't find anything that said it was a
Okay.
painting of her, so it could be.
Okay.
Also, other guests have said that the expression on the girl's face in the painting will change. Like sometimes she'll look happy, sometimes she'll look sad, sometimes she'll look angry.
So the face in the painting changes?
Correct.
And then they will see a little girl standing there staring at the painting.
Exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
And I am looking up a photo to show teacher. And we will also be posting these on our Facebook page and Instagram. Thank you. Words, man. I'm telling you.
I think as a non-multitasker as you are, this is like throwing your brain into loops and your hamster's not completely running.
Possibly. Okay, so that didn't work.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. Here, get this.
Shush.
Okay. I will let you go. Do your thing.
Okay, there's the painting.
No, and they say that's not her?
Well, I didn't see anything that said it was or was not, so I can't say if it is or not.
Okay. Awesome. Ooh, I really want to go there.
Yeah. However, there is no evidence to tie the spirit to the painting, so maybe it is not a painting of her.
Okay.
However, lots of paranormal disturbances to this day are continually reported occurring near it.
Near that painting?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Also, there has been several reports of kids either playing in the hallway or in their room, and they'll be talking to somebody, like, somebody's there and they're playing with them, and when their parents ask them, who are you talking to, they'll smile and say, Samantha.
Oh, that's creepy.
The little girl's name was Samantha Houston.
Ah, okay.
All right, ghost number 2.
Okay.
Colonel Jesse Driskill, the namesake, the man that built it.
Okay.
When he was alive and still owned it, one of his favorite things to do was to stand in the lobby and talking with guests while smoking a cigar.
Ooh.
Today, the Driskill is non-smoking, but several guests have claimed to smell cigar smoke.
Like maybe in the lobby?
In the lobby, in the hallways. They said he would always walk up and down the hallways and always had a cigar. A security guard, while roaming the halls one evening, smelled cigar smoke. But he thought it was coming from the floor below him, so he ran over to a railing to see if he could see anything.
Mm-hmm. Because it was non-smoking.
Because it's non-smoking.
Okay.
He looked down, he couldn't find any. He was looking down could not see anybody smoking. But he heard from behind him, do you have a match? Turns around and nobody's there. But he heard it.
Distinctly heard, do you have a match?
Do you have a match?
Mm-hmm.
It scared the guard so bad that he immediately quit.
What?
Yeah. See ya, deuces.
Oh my gosh, just because somebody asked him for a match.
That's right.
If you can't even see nothing, why would you be afraid if it asked you something? Maybe it was his imagination.
It very well could have been, but I wasn't there to say, nah, that didn't happen.
Never mind.
Okay.
That's a different story.
Another guest reported waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to a man standing in his room looking out the window.
Now that would definitely creep me out.
A little bit. The guest asked the man, "Can I help you?" The man took the cigar out of his mouth, smiled, and disappeared.
Nice. These all seem pretty nice ones so far.
So far.
Non-scary.
Exactly. Now we're going on to the ghost of Peter Lawless.
Lawless.
He worked as a ticket agent for the Great Northern Railroad. After his wife passed away, he moved into the Driskill and lived there for an astonishing 31 years.
What?
I mean, you got to live somewhere.
Yeah, was he the creepy dude in the basement?
Possibly. Let's find out.
Ooh, or the penthouse. Nobody ever goes up there because not sure.
Right. He has been seen leaving the elevator, checking his pocket watch. Because, ticket agent for the railroad. You got to be on time.
Yeah.
You got to sell those tickets. As he's walking out, he will give a nod to the hotel clerks and then just disappear into thin air.
Ooh, spooky.
Housekeeping has reported seeing him while doing their job. They get a tingling feeling and then look up and see a man watching them. They describe him as having black hair, dark pants, white shirt, and a pocket watch, and then will vanish before their eyes. Now, there was another thing about Peter that said that he has been seen walking out of the Driskill onto 6th Street in front of an oncoming city transit bus, and will just walk in front of the bus. And the article I read was kind of making a joke about it, saying he can't even get out of his afterlife.
Well, alrighty.
And then the last ghost, and this,
So this is the trigger warning one?
This is the trigger warning one. So if you need to turn it off, we will catch you next week. We appreciate everything you do. I'll give you a few seconds.
Okay.
But you can't, you got to stay D. Okay. So for anybody that is left, this ghost is called the Suicide Bride. A young groom called off his wedding the night before the wedding. They were going to have it there at Driskill.
Okay.
The wedding, the party afterwards, all that. Night before, groom calls it off. Jilted bride ran back to the room that she was staying in and hung herself.
Okay.
Guests staying on the 4th floor have reported seeing her spirit wearing her wedding dress.
Oh.
So that one makes me feel sad, because that's been the biggest heartbreak of her life, not getting married, but yet for the rest of eternity she's wearing the wedding dress.
Oh.
So you were asking me...
Wait, what year was that?
I didn't get that information, Teach.
Oh. Okay.
The article I read that listed the Suicide Bride, it didn't say a year.
It didn't give a year?
No, ma'am.
And you didn't look up another, whatever?
Well, of course not.
Okay.
Come on now.
One article and you done, huh?
I mean, bare minimum.
You don't corroborate one article and...
Well, I have. I just
Didn't
on that one.
Okay.
I will get that information next week.
Okay.
Now, you was asking earlier where the Driskill sits at. Or sits. You never end a sentence with that.
Nope.
It sits at the corner of 6th Street, keep Austin weird, and Brazos. So, the land, before it was purchased, belonged to native tribes who inhabited the area. One of the essential springs ran where 6th and Brazos is today.
Okay.
Was considered hallowed ground by the Apache, Tonkawas, and Comanche tribes. They believed the water had the ability to contain both willing and unwilling spirits.
Okay.
So maybe that's a reason for the hauntings. They covered up those springs.
Maybe so. Or, people just like to make things up and boom.
Boom.
And there you have it, because, why just have something to talk about?
Absolutely. My bibliography for this week. Library.austintexas.gov, article called Favorite Places in Austin.
Okay.
AustinGhost.com, The Haunted Driskill Hotel.
Okay.
And GhostCityTours.com, The Ghost of the Driskill Hotel. And the last one, SeedPropertyGroup.com. Article is Historic Austin, The Haunted Driskill Hotel. And when I was saying about staying there at the Driskill,
Yeah.
Ghost City Tours has a package to where you get a room at the Driskill, plus you get to go on a tour with them, a ghost hunting tour.
Ooh, perfect.
So,
I want to do that.
I will be looking into that for us.
Yay.
Anybody else that wants to go along with us, let me know. I'll see if we can get a group rate.
Hey, Nathan, do you want to go?
Morgan.
Come on, come on, come on.
Dose. I'm just saying, it could be fun.
So you looked at AustinGhosts.com?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, I wonder if these people just Google stuff and then that's what they do. Hey, there's a cowboy.
That's
Jesse
Driscoll.
the Bride. In the early 1990s.
Well, it was late at night when I was doing this.
Okay, well, I imagine there was more than one.
There was another one that used other means.
Yes. That's just weird to me.
Yeah.
But whatever.
So what's my grade teach?
Well, I'm not a paranormal, so I believed absolutely nothing that you said.
Even after our experience with Dose?
Yeah, I don't...
She called you a fake.
No, I didn't. I just don't truly believe that any of this stuff has happened, because people can tell other people and then your imagination can run away with you, and
Sure.
then it's all in your head, basically. I'm a date person. I like to know years. I don't care about particular date or anything, but I'm gonna have to give you a C-.
I think you're being too harsh. I want to visit with the principal.
Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead. Here, let me open the door. All right. What's your problem?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I wanted to know, how did he really lose the hotel? Was it because he died and it passed on, or was he dumb and made stupid mistakes? And then who had it? And then what happened? And it's all of these things. It just doesn't add up to me. So sorry.
No, I got what I earned.
There you go. See, the more research you do, the better the grade. I mean, come on.
I got you.
You don't remember high school?
Barely. That was a long time ago.
But you had a favorite teacher
Oh, well, yeah.
in high school that taught you research?
Well,
Book reports?
yeah.
Did you cheat?
I'm not
You
saying
got the
she might
Cliff
be.
Notes.
She might be listening.
I doubt it. But, you know, there's that chance.
All right, teacher has drawn for next week, and the subject is...
Conspiracy theories.
I think we need to redraw.
Nope.
Because we didn't put the new subject in for Dark
What?
Hollywood.
Oh, well, too bad. I got conspiracy theories, which
All right.
I think is, you know, just as dumb as paranormal.
Huh.
So,
All right, well, conspiracy theories next week.
All righty. Class is over.